Hello, friends. Welcome to the Hindu editorial analysis. So today we will be discussing some important topics from the Hindu editorial section. First, we will be discussing about the first editorial, that is the Swam. Herein, the editor, discusses about the menace that is being caused by the locust upsurge in parts of Western India, and it is already adding to the dimension of the disasters that India is facing at present, like the corona crisis or the floods in the eastern part of India. And this locust outs upsurge has been is being faced by states like Rajasthan. It's a burgeoning crisis, like especially Rajasthan, Gujarat, and parts of Madhya Pradesh. So in India, there is a locust monitoring and tackling institute, that is a locust warning organization, and located in Jodhpur. So altogether, there were 13 locust upsurges way back from 1964 to 1997, and after 2010, the data says there were no large-scale locust outbreaks, and the locust outbreak of this year, that is 2020, is the worst in decades, says the locust warning organization of Jodhpur. So here we want to remember that way back in the year 1949, the government of India had passed a draconian law called the East Punjab Agriculture, Pest, Diseases and Noxious Weeds Act, by which the district collector or DM can call upon any male person who is above the age of 14 years to render his services in controlling the menace of locust. And if he fails to do so, then he is liable for imprisonment or being tried by the courts. So this like one of the reason why this locust outbreak is so prevalent this year, it has been cited because the area cites that it is the indirect fallout of the warming of Indian Ocean, and one of the reason because of the Indian Ocean has warmed up is because of the Indian Ocean dipole, and this has resulted in the warming of Indian Ocean in the western part. And contrary to the monsoon forecast that El Nino will be El Nino will happen in warming the equatorial Pacific, and resultant will see drought-like situation in India. But the reverse has happened in the month of July, and because of the Indian dipole, we have seen a upsurge in rainfall activities in parts of Eastern Africa and in India. Although it's a matter of cheer for a lot of people like farmers, but still this moist atmosphere is a congenial ground for the locusts to breed, and it had happened so that because of the moist African deserts, this locust breed got a congenial atmosphere, and it amplified their breeding, and these favorable rain bearing winds brought the locust to India. So this is one of the possible reasons the area sites for the locust outbreak this year. And another factor that has resulted in the locust outbreak is the delay in spraying of pesticides due to the corona crisis. So pesticides have been delayed to be sprayed in parts of western India, Pakistan and Afghanistan. So because of that, this is also one of the reason why this locust has outbreak in India. So this and the data says that these menaces like these floods, pandemics and pestilence are the indirect fallout of global warming, and which science and technology has been less able to provide succor to mankind of this disasters. So this was all about the editorial, the Swarm. Now let's discuss our next topic. The next important topic we will be discussing is written by writer Sanjoy Hajorika, and it's about the migrant disaster that we are witnessing at present. And the writer talks about the lapses in the India's policy making that has resulted in the migrant issue, and he suggests some of the measures that the government of India needs to take to tackle migrant issue. And let's discuss what are the measures he had cited to alleviate migrant sufferings. Firstly, the writer suggests to tackle migrant distress and suffering is to relearn sustainable economics, and for this we need to learn from Mahatma Gandhi, Gandhiji, and not the Niti Aayog model of development or the Reserve Bank development of model of development, because the writer says India still lives in villages and small towns and not in big cities. So we need to learn from Gandhiji's village economy or village-based rural economy to uplift the sufferings of rural masses. And the second point he suggests is that And secondly he says that you need to rebuild the rural economy, and that can happen by building the rural household economy or the small scale cottage industries. And we need to use the writer says that you need to use the Swachh Bharat network to strengthen the cottage industries. And he says that one of the reasons that this cottage industries has been killed is because of the big industries. And he says that we need to incentivize the big industries so that they can buy raw materials from the rural manufacturers, so which will generate help in generating rural employment, and this will help in elevating rural distress and stop migration. And the rural people will have their incomes supplemented if the big industries are incentivized or they are pressurized to buy from rural manufacturers. And we need to the government also need to equip and empower the rural artisans with better skills, design capacity and technology, and they need to have meaningful access to capital and markets. So the farmers needs to farmers and the small scale industries, the small and medium enterprises need to gain access to loans and capital. And also they need to have good access to the markets so that they can sell their finished products, and by that they can augment their income. So this is the second suggestion the writer gives. And third, the writer says that we need to formalize, that is work from home, and design a migration plan. That is, we need to support the rural people to work from home or near their states, so that or you need to form cluster of villages near them, so they can work near the villages and they need not go far away from their home. And in this period of migrant distress, it has been said that it has been seen that the government has failed to provide succor to them, and it's only the non-governmental organizations that have been that have come forward to help these workers. So these migrants need to be encouraged to work from their home or near the villages only. So this will help in preventing the migration that is happening from rural areas to cities, and that is getting into myriad problems in cities, like overpopulation and the congestion and the slums that is developing in big cities. So we need to have a village centric model of economic development. So these topics have been discussed quite often in the editorial sections in various newspapers. And the fourth, the writer says that more funding needs to be diverted from corporates to states, panchayats and municipalities, so that the states, the panchayats and villages have more funds to tackle the problem. And in addition, the writer says that you need to increase the allocation on health and women, children and education up to 20% of the national budget. So and this budget needs to be released to the fund. This fund needs to be released to the states, so the states can be empowered to lay out development plans in their own areas. And this will lead to better economy in the states and less migration to big cities, and less we can see the migrant issue or migrant distress in the future. So this was all about the Hindu analysis. Hope you have enjoyed. If you have liked, please give a thumbs up and write in the comment section below, and you can subscribe to my channel. Thank you.